This is Shane, Hurricane Helms, inviting you to watch Rasslin Rage. That's Rasslin, Rasslin, Rage. And if not, what's up with that?
Oh! This is Rasslin Rage. This is Rasslin Rage. This is Rasslin Rage. Cody Fleming is the man who leads the brigade. This is Rasslin Rage. This is Rasslin Rage. This is Rasslin Rage. Cody Fleming is the man who leads the brigade.
And now it's time for Rasslin Rage with your host, Cody Fleming.
Bada boom, bada bing. How is everybody doing tonight? You are here on the Rasslin Rage YouTube channel, and I am joined by Hannah Henderson. I'm going to ask her a few questions, but before I do that, make sure you smash the thumbs up. Please smash the thumbs up. Share the video all over the place. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. I don't know what other things there are out there, but wherever you share, share it. If you have to, I don't know, maybe get on the ham radio and, I don't know, maybe do Morse code and tell people where it's at. I don't know.
There you go.
Whatever you do that, please. But also, down in the description, there are links to the Rasslin Rage Facebook, Instagram, all that good stuff. Also, to the group, the Michigan Independent Weekly group, where we share everything there is to do with Michigan Independent Wrestling, for sure. Oh, yeah, you know what else is down there? Do you know what's down there, Hannah?
What's down there? Tell me, Cody.
All the links to your social media. Did you know that?
No, I did not know that.
As well as your YouTube.
As well as my YouTube. There you go.
All right. The only thing I didn't put up there, I think, was the link to your T-shirts. That's the only thing I didn't put up there because I was in a hurry. So I apologize.
Cool. That's all good.
Well,
Brainbuster Tees, Hannah Henderson.
There you go. I like it. Real easy. Makes it real easy. So, hello to you and welcome to the show. Very first time ever.
Thank you. I'm excited.
You know somebody very well that's been on the show, I don't know, 15, 20 times now. I'm not exactly sure. Yeah, I think you were talking to him about 5 seconds ago. I'm not sure. But, anyways, thank you for coming on. And
thank you.
Welcome and all that good stuff. So a few things I want to talk about. This is the get to know you, right? The first interview is always the get to know you. And so here we are. Hannah Henderson, you're young, aren't you? Because you just recently had a birthday.
Yeah,
and I know women don't like to talk about their age, but I mean,
I don't care. I'm 19 years old.
All right, so you're 19 years old.
Yeah.
So you're really young in the business.
I am very young.
You were probably you were allowed to train at 18 and probably said, "Hey, let's do this," huh?
Yeah, basically. So I went to Pure Pro Wrestling. They had a juniors, and I was 17 at the time. But I was technically not a junior because I was 17, and so I've done the adult classes. I've also been a part of the junior classes. So it'll be 2 years coming up in August.
2 years, huh?
Yeah.
At 19 years old, that's another female wrestler out there that's made it big time in the WWE. Paige, she was. She started wrestling at 13, 15 years old.
Young. Young.
Right. Well, her parents were both into wrestling,
right,
so that worked out. I mean, that's awesome. But so 17, you started training. Then 18, when did you officially start training for pro wrestling? What was at 17, and did you go through a whole program, or how did it work?
It was 17. I did go to adult classes. I want to say at least 3 to 5 or 3 days out of the week. I'm pretty sure. Went to adult classes on top of junior classes. That's when I started training. It was in the summer. A couple years ago. Whatever.
I can only imagine
however long it was.
How hot and sweaty and nasty.
It really wasn't actually.
Really?
Yeah, I know. It was at a ice roller rink.
Oh,
so
wow,
it was
shit.
kind of it was kind of nice. So
temperature controlled.
But then in the winter it was cold as hell. Like it was bad.
Right. Now, so you get into what actually persuaded you? Like, what was the thing that said, "Hey, I'm going to do this"? What was there a moment, or was this something you always wanted to do?
It was kind of a moment. It was kind of like a last minute thing. I went to a pure pro wrestling show, and I found out they had training, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna try it out. If I don't like it, I don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
And I love it. I love it. So
okay. When you were younger, did you watch wrestling? Or?
No, actually.
Really?
You'd think so. No, I actually started watching about 3 years ago. It was WrestleMania 34. I turned it on with my friend, and and I was like, this is actually very entertaining. I like this.
I really enjoy, because I've interviewed quite a few people in the state here and outside of the state, but everybody's story is a little bit different in how they got involved in professional wrestling. And a lot of people have like an amateur background, they did it in high school, or they were just really into it, or some of them were in the backyard. There was everybody has a different story, and I think that's really interesting to find out. So how did you come about? So if you weren't really a fan of professional wrestling, what made you take that step and go to an independent wrestling show, and then, oh my God, here I am. Let's become a wrestler.
So there is like a big story about why we went to a local show. Is basically I wanted to go to SmackDown Live in Detroit, I believe, and the tickets, tickets are tickets.
Yeah, they're expensive.
Yeah, so my grandma's like, "Hey, we can go to this event instead. It's a local show." I'm like, "Oh, independent wrestling? That's dope." Because I've heard of independent wrestling before and stuff like that. So I was like, sure, we can go and try it out. And I really liked it a lot better than actually watching it on TV. Because I'm like, you're close and personal, and it's very nice. So I enjoyed it.
Well, that's good.
That's
well,
basically
obviously
what made it. Yeah, right. Right here I am.
Right. Obviously, you enjoyed it because you decided to join their junior program and then train up all the way into the adult program, and then officially become a on the road traveling indie wrestler.
Yep.
The extravagant life of a traveling indie wrestler, right? Because it's because you're all rich, right? Every indie wrestler is very rich.
I'm the richest of riches. I couldn't even imagine being any less rich.
Oh, right on. So I got it right. You come, you get trained, you actually finally wrestle in front of a crowd. Tell me what Hannah Henderson is thinking in the locker room before a match.
Oh, she's nervous. She's probably the most nervous out of all of them. But you know what? Like when I'm out there, it's like I'm still nervous, of course, but I feel like I'm at home. I know that's cheesy, but like I feel comfortable and I feel very good about it. So once again, there's nerves, but at the same time, the what's the word? The happiness outrides the nerves.
Okay. I'm trained in martial arts, and my instructor used to tell me all the time, you have to be comfortable being uncomfortable.
For sure. Yep. Exactly.
Because you just never know. Are you a fan of? Because there's the people. There's the wrestlers that like to do it on the fly and call the match on the fly. And then there's the wrestlers that like to, like Macho Man. Macho Man used to want everything mapped out before every match. And if you didn't map it out with him, he didn't wrestle you. Right.
It's kind of both. I mean, if that makes sense. Like,
yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I like to do it before, but I also like to sometimes on the fly. You kind of feel it as you go.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Now, I was at a show recently where you were in I don't know, it turned into a three-way. I don't even know how many. There was
Jeremiah Goldman.
There was a bunch of people in this match, right? It was a women.
Yeah.
It was a women's match, right? Somehow Jeremiah Goldman inserted himself in there with the payoff.
Always.
You know, that was a big fat stack of cash too. I don't know if you've seen that.
I did not see it. I didn't care.
You know, it was a nice rubber band man type thing, right? So, anyways, you get inserted in the match, and then one Randy West comes out. Now, I'm not exactly sure the crowd knew what they were watching at that moment because they really didn't react to.
They didn't really get enough time to react.
Right, because if a lot of people, Randy West is a fucking legend, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Absolute fucking paved some of the roads for women like yourself, not only in just regular professional wrestling, but also in deathmatch wrestling.
Yeah.
One of the few women that participate in the blood sport of deathmatch wrestling.
Yeah.
What was it like for you? Now, did you know beforehand, or did you find, because card subject to change, right?
Right.
So
it was, I knew like a day before.
that's still not enough time to mentally
but that's
process
still
that.
like, how does this still work? But still worked out. So.
Yeah, it worked out. But man, oh man, now you're coming in on the 20th.
Yep.
And I seen you on the flyer, and you're in that match, and you're so this is for a women's title, right?
Yes. Yep.
The first ever Total Chaos Wrestling title.
Ever.
Women's. Nobody can ever, you can be a title holder, right? There's 1,700 of them, right?
Right.
You can be a title holder, but nobody can ever, ever, ever take away first ever, right? Your first ever TKW women's champion. That's in the history book forever.
Right. Right.
What's something like that for you? I mean, you're only 2 years into business, and you win a title like that, taking on some big names.
Yeah.
I mean, Alex Sky's coming back for this one. You got Randy West in there. Tell me what's it like for you to even be in a match like that?
It's definitely, it is nerve-wracking, I'll tell you that.
Okay.
But I feel like I could pull it off.
Absolutely.
I have a lot of strategic ideas. So
if you don't believe in yourself, nobody else will, right?
Exactly. Amen to that. Yep. So yeah, for sure.
Now
I think I could pull it off.
Won't happen, Jeremiah Goldman says in the chat.
Okay.
He's here for you. He's a supporting role. Yeah.
Of course he's here all the time. Everywhere I go, there he is. Right?
What is his thing, right? Because, I like Jeremiah Goldman. He's a nice guy. All right.
Yeah, I beg to differ, but
okay. All right. Hey,
all right.
I'm not going to agree to disagree, but I'm just going to say, what is his thing with wrestling women?
I don't know. I don't know. It's kind of scary and creepy, if I'm going to be honest with you.
Isn't he actually a women's champion? I think he's a champion over in Horror-Slam, isn't he?
Oh, I don't know. I think he might be. I don't know. I don't really care.
Okay, so we have to ask, I got multiple personalities. I think I do, though. I mean, who knows, right? I have to ask a little bit about what you're planning on doing here with your career. You're a year in. COVID happens, so you know it's a little rough on the ring time for everybody, not just you.
For sure, yeah.
Now here we go. Things are starting to open up. We're open up 50% now in bars and so on and so forth. Vents are getting a little more capacity. What's the lookout for Hannah? I see you're booked on a few shows, so are we looking to make that even more bookings?
I hope so. I really hope so. I think this year is going to be the big year where I get better. I'm going to get a lot better than a lot of people in a span of like a year. So far, I've already gotten better in the first 3 months. So I'm looking really forward to this year.
Absolutely. Are you still, training over at PPW, or are you going over to the House
not
of
really
Truth,
right now.
What are you doing?
I'm going to hopefully go back to PVW when they back open, but I also would like to go to House of Truth as well sometime.
For sure.
Like at least once a week, because it is kind of a drive, but
Well, don't you know somebody that's trained by Truth? I mean,
yes, I do exactly, and that's the whole point.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say, hey, Chuck Stein, hello, welcome to the chat. Sure, hello.
Oh, hi, Chucky.
Chuck's here, says hello. Now, as far as goals go, I ask everybody this, right? You're going forward. What are goals? What are your goals? Or do you have a goal, one that you'd like to let everybody in on?
I mean, I have a few goals. Basically, I just want to get better, and I want to expand on my craft and work on it and be the best I can be. I also would love to travel the world. I mean, I've always wanted to travel the world, and
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, with wrestling, it even helps. So I'd hope to travel all over the place.
Yeah.
That's a big goal. Yeah.
Nice. Now, I have to ask, so, I made a goal for this month for myself, right? We talked about goals, and I made a goal for myself to interview as many women as I possibly could from the state of Michigan that wrestle. So you were one of those folks, right?
Yeah.
So here you are. Now, what I'm finding is that there is not a lot of women that wrestle that live in the state of Michigan.
I honestly think there's only like 2 to 3. I'm going to be completely honest with you.
What the fuck?
That I know of are active right now.
What is the deal here? What is the deal with that?
I don't know. It's a good question. I don't know.
What are there any obstacles as a woman that you faced in your first 2 years so far? Nothing like, I mean, obviously, something that you can talk about.
The usual, creeps, of course. But other than that, not really. The way I've been trained and the way it's all been equal to me. And that's all I can ask for, But as far as a woman, there's not really any difference.
Right.
With me, anyway.
Right. Well, I find there was this very big push in the big leagues, WWE, AEW, Impact, for women's wrestling, and there still is. It's still going on.
Yeah.
And you still see it. You see these big names like Charlotte and Becky Lynch and all these women are out there and they're kicking ass. I remember I was either the first or second ever women's battle royal that they had, or the Royal Rumble, and I mean they put on a better show than the men did in my opinion.
Yeah.
With such a sudden boom, why? What do you think it takes for someone to be, I don't know, motivated to, or not even just someone, but a woman specifically to want to do what you do?
Honestly, I think obviously there's a lot of women who are probably scared, and I'm not going to sugarcoat on that.
Right. How do they get over that? How do they get over that?
It's actually all depending on themselves. Like, there are some women that are not going to get over it. There are some women that are going to do it and try it and be terrible at it, and who are still scared in their own minds. But like I said, you can only get over it yourself. You have to face your fears in this business. Definitely.
Absolutely. When you started training, what was your biggest fear?
Getting injured really bad. That was my biggest fear. Yeah.
I could see that, because I mean, when you're first starting out, you don't know how to take care of yourself or anybody else for that matter. While you're in the ring. So
I also didn't want to make a bad impression on myself. I wanted to make sure I left a good impression with everyone that I met,
Yeah.
I didn't want to see as different either. Just because I'm a woman doesn't mean I can't, kick your ass. So I wanted to be seen as equal, just like everyone else.
Right.
Like, I don't even want to be considered a woman wrestler, even though I am, but I am a wrestler. Doesn't matter if I'm a woman, if I'm a man, whatever I identify as, I'm a wrestler.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I like that. It's just one of them things where it's like, man, dude, it's like, I enjoy women's wrestling, and I like the intergender matches too. So, and hey, I'm all about that. I love that Sam McCallahan match that him and what's her name did. Excuse me, I can't think of it off the top of my head.
Tessa Blanchard.
There it is, Tessa Blanchard.
Yeah,
there we go. But I love that match. I love Heidi Katrina when she goes on against the boys because she whoops their ass. And it's kind of hot, but hey, whatever. But it's just I wish I seen some more women wrestlers in Michigan.
I wish I did too. I really wish I did too.
And it's got to be hard for you. If there's only 2.
I don't mind kicking everyone's ass.
Right.
I don't care.
I get it. But you can only wrestle Goldman so many times, right?
I know. It's getting annoying at this point. I don't know why. I guess sure. Whatever.
So
I'll do it.
I know there's 3 events coming up this weekend. Are you at any of those? Or no, 4 events. 4 events. Are you going to be
at Great Lakes Wrestling. I'll be there kicking Goldman's ass once again.
That's on Sunday. So
yep.
Sunday. We're not
Sunday,
here to
March
shame
7th.
Cody. I know. Now, thank you, TJ. Appreciate you, sir. Thank you. So you'll be there Sunday. Where else? I know on the 20th you're at TKW. Is there anywhere else you're going to be this month, or is that it for this month?
As far as what I know, I have to check my calendar again. But those are the 2 big events, 2 events that I know I'll be at. Is the Sunday and then the 20th at Total Chaos Wrestling.
Okay, so if you want to check out Hannah Henderson, you got to bring yourself over there to Great Lakes Wrestling. That's taking place. What town is that in?
That's in Wyandotte.
Wyandotte. Oh, yes, at Grizzlies.
Yeah.
Grizzlies returns to the wrestling world in Downriver. Oh,
yes,
boy.
Sir.
So, and Hannah Henderson will be there. And then on the 20th, Total Chaos Wrestling, I believe they're in Taylor. I'm just not sure.
Yep.
It's not the same building. It's a different building.
It looks to be Great Memories Hall.
Oh, there you go. Great. That thing.
I looked it up. So
that
I
place.
was on point. Yep.
Right. So you can check her out there because she's going to be competing for the first ever TKW Women's Championship. Right. If you would love, matter of fact, do it. Go down there, scroll down into the description, find her Facebook. Go to Facebook, click the link, go there, like her, subscribe, follow, whatever you do. Instagram, same thing. Twitter, same thing. YouTube, subscribe, right? Do all those things after this is over, of course, because we want this watch time.
Yes.
But
yes, we need that money.
Yes, do all them things. And don't forget, she also, was it Brainbusters?
Yep, Brainbuster Tees, Hannah Henderson.
There you go.
Yeah.
Buy all the merch. If I had
all of it.
Buy the merch. Very good. I want to say thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
Oh, before we get out of here, there's a Chump 9K in the chat says, is Hannah planning to expand down to South Texas?
Hopefully. I hope so.
All right.
I might be going down there sometime in April.
April. Oh, big plans.
Hopefully. Yeah.
Big spender.
Very
good. All right.
That's right. I'm the richest of the rich. Remember?
That's right. All indie wrestlers are rich people. They make so much money. And they have plenty of hot dogs in their trunk.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. All the hot dogs you want.
Right, for sure. So everybody, don't forget to, like I said, head on over to all of our social media and and do all that good stuff. We want to say thank you to Miss Hannah Henderson for stopping into Rasslin Rage for the first time ever.
First time
ever. We're going to get, we'll talk to her here later down the road and get a check-in and see how she's doing and all that good stuff and what she's planning on doing. You know how we do it here on Rasslin Rage. Guys, I'm going to see you. My next time is on Rasslin Rage here on Sunday at 7 p.m. right here on the Rasslin Rage YouTube channel. Please, guys, subscribe if you haven't already. Hannah, thank you so much. Have a great night. Everybody, thank you for joining us. We'll see you on Sunday.
Rasslin Rage. Do it now. This is Rasslin Rage. This is Rasslin Rage. Cody Fleming is the man who leads the brigade. It's going down. This This is Rasslin Rage. Do it now. This is Rasslin